Expecting a huge crowd on hand tonight at the Lloyd Noble Center for a showcase of some of the nation's best gymnasts as the #1 ranked Oklahoma Sooners host the 13th ranked Arkansas Razorbacks. Hi everybody, I'm Bart Connor along with Florida All-American Kennedy Baker. Happy to be working with you tonight, Kennedy. Now normally Oklahoma is a heavy favorite in most gymnastics meets. However, coming into this meet, Arkansas is coming off one of their biggest victories in program history, so they're kind of coming in hot.
Yeah, I think Arkansas has a great chance of winning tonight. They're coming off of beating the #2 team. They went back, worked on those small details, and I know that they want to get the win tonight against this OU program.
Of course, Jordan Weber is the head coach at Arkansas in her 6th season. Starting to build huge crowds. They had nearly 10,000 in the Bud Walton Arena the other day for that meet. And they get a chance to see, as we will tonight, freshman Jocelyn Robertson, Olympic all-arounder, Olympic alternate in the all-around. They were spectacular on floor, weren't they?
They were. Jocelyn Robertson leading off that back end of the lineup, 4th, 5th, and 6th, followed by Leah Smith and Frankie Price. They are putting up huge numbers in that back end. I know that they want a great competition on floor again tonight to hopefully be competitive with OU.
And the Oklahoma Sooners have been led for 19 years by KJ Kindler, one of the most dominant programs in the last decade, and they had a first win in the SEC last week over Alabama. And freshman Lily Peterson continues to impress, as do most of this young gymnast team.
Lily Peterson has stepped up and delivered in a huge way for this Oklahoma team. Kind of a dark horse. She slid under the radar in the preseason, and now she's stepping up week after week in this regular season and really delivering solid gymnastics for this program.
40% of the scores for the Oklahoma Sooners are coming from that impressive freshman class, including Lily Peterson out of Minnesota. Okay, the Oklahoma Sooners will open up on the vault in the first of 4 rotations here. The visiting Arkansas Razorbacks will be on the uneven bars. We will see Lily Peterson lead them off. The young freshman having a terrific year so far.
This vault is huge, Bart.
Oh, almost stuck it.
So close, but her pre-flight is so impressive. Keep in mind that Lily Peterson is only 4 feet 10 inches tall. So when she blocks and gets away from the table, she has a little more work to do, making it more impressive the distance and height that she gets away on that vault.
She says she's 4'11", but she's really 4'10". But she is a very explosive gymnast. Excited to watch her career as it develops. Callie Swaney on the bars now for Arkansas in the all-important leadoff position, especially for a visiting team. You got to get them off to a roll right away.
And you definitely want Callie Swaney, a junior, in this role, starting off the lineup for this Arkansas program. This routine is newer for her. She didn't compete these skills last year. It's the first year she's really putting them out. Wrapping up with a double layout here. Just a small step back. When you see them absorb that landing, you really have to bend in the knees if you want to hold on to it and get that stick.
Just remind the viewers, the meet format in dual meet competition, 6 gymnasts per team on each event. Just the best 5 out of those 6 scores on each event count towards the team total. Of course, the team with the highest cumulative score wins. The home order is what we call Olympic order. Vault, bars, beam, and floor. So the Sooners are on vault, and that brings up Faith Torres.
Faith Torres nailed this vault against Alabama, stuck it cold, and did the same thing again tonight.
She's coming after Lily Peterson, led off the Sooners with a 9.825.
The crowd is loving that, Bart. Huge block off of the table. So consistent on that vault. Faith has just time and time again really worked on drilling that landing, focusing in, and of course getting the stick.
Coach Kindler, and there is Lou Ball, one of the associate head coach. He's responsible for their outstanding work on the vault. Says she's been knocking it out of the park this season. The junior from Bristol, Wisconsin. Now the leadoff competitor for Arkansas on the bars, Callie Swaney at a 9.7. Leah Smith will be next up.
Leah hasn't been in as much in the bar lineup specifically. Lately, Jocelyn Robertson has been in this place. She's stepping up and delivering in the lineup instead this week. Starts with a big Maloney. A little leg separation in the back of that. The judges really want to see you keep your legs glued together when you do that backswing.
Oh, nice.
Great effort on that dismount. I like how you could see her see the landing before she hit it, really getting that stick. And she spots it just a second before she lands, really absorbs in her knees, bends and holds on to it. Nice job from Leah.
We're used to seeing her in vault and floor. She made the bars lineup this week for the up-and-coming Razorbacks. Addison Feda now competing tonight in the all-around, one of 5 Sooners competing in the all-around. The score for Faith Torres was a 9.95.
Huge score to build off of. Great setup from Faith for Addison.
Oh!
Hop to the front, had so much power off of that table, just had to take that scoot forward. It was a nice controlled hop though. Really working on nailing those landings though coming up. They really want to dial into the floor and hold on to it.
Coach Kindler said she's really hoping to stick 2 out of 6 vaults tonight. They already got 1 from Faith Torres, scoring a 9.95. We're going back to the bars now. Leah Smith had a 9.85, but let's point out what the judges are actually looking for here, Kennedy.
Right. They're focused on the handstands. Are they all the way up and vertical? The releases, how high are they and how good is the form? And of course the dismount. Is their amplitude off of the bar and did they hold on to the landing?
Katie Ewald now.
Katie transferred into the Arkansas program and has brought so much leadership and experience to this team. Head coach Jordan Weaver couldn't say enough good things about all of the things that she's done for this program, helping mentor especially the underclassmen.
She has a new dismount here, a double layout she's learned since she went to Arkansas. Let's see if she does it. There it is. Nice.
Really good effort. It's hard to put a new skill out in the competition. It's nerves you're taking into consideration as well as trying to nail it. Good effort from Katie there.
Transfer from Illinois, as you mentioned. She's a 5th-year senior. Kira Wells will be the next vaulter for the Oklahoma Sooners. Addison Feda, 9.825. Remember, 6 athletes compete. You count just the best 5 of 6 scores towards your team total.
Kira with another Yurchenko 1.5. Starting from that 10.0.
Nice.
Nice little scoot for Kira. That was a great improvement though on her vault. Sometimes she takes a step or a big hop. It was nice to see her more controlled, just kind of a little slight shuffle to the front right there at the end, but really nice block through her shoulders off of the table. Great form throughout. No leg separation. Awesome job for Kira.
Jay Kindler told us this week over the phone, she said when she sticks one, she's getting a 10 because her mechanics are excellent. The sophomore out of Kansas. And congratulations from former All-American here at OU and now one of the graduate assistant coaches, Reagan Smith. One of your club teammates from a few years back, huh, Kennedy?
I do know Reagan. I've known Reagan for a long time. It's nice to see people step into another role and still be involved in the gymnastics community.
Priscilla Park will be up on bars now. 9.775 was the score for Caitlin Ewald. Watching Park in the warm-up, she can swing really big.
Yeah, her form is incredibly impressive.
Wow.
Beautiful, huge release move right there. So much flight over the bar. What I really like about Priscilla Park, though, is her form. Her extension is impressive. She points all the way through her toes, straight through her knees. The judges really like to see that. A small shuffle back. You'll notice her feet landed a little bit too far in front of her. You want your feet right underneath you when you land if you want to get that stick.
She's been managing a chronic back issue, and she says bars is actually one of the toughest events on her lower back.
Huge release move right there. So much flight over the bar. A little short in that handstand like we spoke about earlier. You want to see it all the way drilled on top of the bar.
Back to the vault for the Sooners. Jordan Bowers, the senior from Nebraska.
A huge advantage that Oklahoma has over most teams is that they have 6 10.0 start value vaults, giving them those extra tenths ahead if they can get the landings.
Good control.
Nice work from Jordan there. Another small scoot to the front, but really great effort. Her vault is so consistent. Time and time again, she does that 1.5 with either a small hop or sometimes even sticks it. Good effort there. You can see she was thinking about sticking. It's hard though, especially on those 1.5s. You're coming in with a blind landing. You can't spot the floor coming in. You've got to feel it in the air, making it even more challenging.
Lou Ball giving her a couple of notes there. The vaulting team for the Sooners, typically one of their signature events. They have yet to break into the 9-9s except for Faith Torres. Oh, there's a 9-9 for Bowers came up as Maddie Jones mounts the bars now for Arkansas.
Nice opening release move. That's a piked Jaeger. Really good form in the air. That's something Maddie does really well as well, is really putting emphasis and attention to detail in her lines.
Ooh.
Just a little too early. You'll notice those feet were behind her. You want them, again, right underneath your body if you want to get that stick. Had to take that hop forwards.
Sunday, we've got ACC women's basketball as number 3 Notre Dame takes on Louisville. Catch all the action at noon Eastern right here on ESPN2. Audrey Davis will be the anchor vaulter after Jordan Bowers got a 9-9. So the score that the Sooners want to replace, the lowest score is grayed out on your screen. That's a 9.825. Let's see if Davis can get more.
Big 1.5 from Audrey there. Nice controlled hop on the landing. Beautiful form when she's twisting. When she comes onto the table, you'll notice there's a slight leg separation in that pre-flight before she takes off right there. But she finds those legs back together. She almost uses that separation to wrap and get herself around a little bit quicker. But the form throughout the rest of the 1.5 is so good.
One of the 5 all-arounders for the Sooners tonight. They're only competing 7 or 8 gymnasts out of their full lineup because they have so much talent on this team. Several all-arounders where Arkansas is using a mixture of athletes. One all-arounder, as we thought would be Jocelyn Robertson. However, she is not in the bars lineup tonight. So Jocelyn, the Olympic alternate, had been dealing with the flu this week. So she's not in the bar lineup. And so she'll be doing hopefully 3 other events. As Maddie Walagora, the transfer from Alabama, will be the anchor competitor after Maddie Jones had a 9.75.
Another strong veteran for this Arkansas program. Has so much experience putting her 6th up. Beautiful Jaeger. She's so high and away from the bar that she can connect it right down to that second release move. Oh, and too much gas on that handstand.
Welcome inside the Lloyd Noble Center. I'm Bart Connor along with Kennedy Baker, calling the #1 Oklahoma Sooners as they host the visiting 13th ranked Arkansas Razorbacks, who come into this meet pretty hot after a huge victory last week over LSU, one of their biggest upsets in program history. Oklahoma off to a solid start on the vault. You just took a look at Jordan Bowers there. She got a 9.9, but a moment ago, Maddie Walagora, the anchor competitor, overcooked this handstand, Kennedy.
She did. When you are doing bars, you want to be aggressive. It's hard to find that balance, though. Usually that comes with a little bit of experience and seniority to really get it on top of the bar, not give it too much juice or not enough juice.
Quick reminder how it works in dual meet competition. These two teams are going back and forth. Oklahoma opened on the vault, Arkansas on the bars. 6 athletes compete, and you count just the best 5 of 6 scores towards the team total. So that was a crucial miss, unfortunately, for Arkansas in the first rotation. And coming up, when we come back, we'll take a look at Oklahoma's Jordan Bowers, her best day ever. You're watching the SEC on ESPN.
I will never forget that day. Everything, the stars aligned, and it just, all of our hard work unfolded, and just watching that, it was like Sooner magic just happening right in front of our faces.
When she steps out on the floor, like, there is no doubt she knows what she wants to do, and she's gonna do everything she possibly can to do it.
That meet at Big 12's smashing the record, that was an incredible meet. You know, everything from the first vault to the last floor routine, that was such an incredible day.
A trio of perfect 10s for Jordan Bowers on a record-setting night for Oklahoma.
3 10s at meet, that was honestly so crazy. But just trusting my training, trusting myself, doing what I do every single day in the gym. You know, the team always helps us too, you know. They always have your back and they feed off of you, the crowd and all of that. So I couldn't be able to do it alone. That was really such an honor to be a part of that team and a part of that moment and be a part of history forever.
The best day ever for Jordan Bowers for the Oklahoma Sooners. It's Bart Connor along with Kennedy Baker inside the Lloyd Noble Center. Now, Kennedy, you're, of course, an All-American from Florida. You yourself have scored 3 10s in your career as well.
Yeah, actually, I got 3 10s over 4 years. So I basically did the same thing. It doesn't make it any less magical. It was very fun.
How impressive is that feat? I think only 6 athletes in the country have ever scored 3 perfect 10s in a single meet. Of course, one athlete from Georgia, Karen Litchie, the only athlete in NCAA history to score a perfect 40. She did it back in 1996. Jordan Bowers has 10s on all the events except the beam in her illustrious career. So the Oklahoma Sooners have a lead after the first of 4 rotations. Can Arkansas come back on vault in the second rotation as the Sooners will move to the bars? And on the vault for Arkansas, we'll see Olympic alternate Jocelyn Robertson. And on the bars, you're not going to want to miss this. Audrey Davis. She has scored perfection there before. Don't go 4 rotations. The #1 team in the country in the lead. The Oklahoma Sooners with a solid 49-4 in that first rotation. One of the Oklahoma coaches on the staff is Ashley Kerr, former Florida gymnast and coach. She's in her 8th season, and it's nice that she brought her husband along tonight. There is the Oklahoma City Thunder head coach, Mark Dagnall. In this building tonight, he's known as Ashley's husband. The Thunder are off the #1 team in the Western Conference in the NBA. Great to have Mark here in attendance tonight. A good crowd on hand at the Lloyd Noble Center. Arkansas will go to the vault. That gentleman, you see the back of him in the white shirt, that is Chris Brooks. He is the husband of head coach Jordan Weber, and he is a former Oklahoma gymnast. On the vault, now let's take a look at what the judges are focusing on here, Kennedy.
Yeah, the judges first are starting with the start value. Does it start from a 9.95 or a 10.0? The execution, how good is the form in the air and throughout, and of course the landing. Did they stick it, or did they have to take a step or a hop?
It's a slight delay here in the start of this rotation. Arkansas has made a change. Frankie Price will be the final vaulter for the Razorbacks instead of Klein.
Great effort from Cammie. She's been in this starting role for a while now. Consistent with that Yurchenko full. Unfortunately, it only starts from a 9.95. That's the highest score that vault can get. Just a small shuffle back at the end, but really nice form throughout.
You mentioned start values on scores like a 9.95 as opposed to a 10. That automatically gives the Oklahoma Sooners a bit of an advantage over the other teams because all of their vaults are from a 10.0 start value.
Yeah, it does vault, or it does Bart. On vault, The Arkansas program only has 3 10-0s and 3 995s.
Here's Lily Peterson. She got the Sooners off to a solid start in vault in the first rotation at a 9.825.
Leading off again on bars for the Oklahoma program. KJ just has so much trust in Lily. Wow. And I see why. Because if I was nailing dismounts like that, I would want my coach to trust me too. Lily is so consistent. She's competing right now like she's a veteran, just stepping up and deliver. She doesn't look nervous at all. And nailing that landing.
You know, one of the things KJ Kindler loves about this young freshman, she said, just put me anywhere in the lineup. I don't care whether I'm first, in the middle, or last. I'm good to go, coach. 9.775 was the leadoff score for Cammie Weaver. Here's Leah Smith.
Another Yurchenko full for Arkansas. She can get the stick on this.
Nice.
Nice job.
Now that's that's an interesting point, because she did a slightly lower ranked vault in terms of start value, but her execution was fabulous.
Right, and that's the difference, right? Like if you're doing a Yurchenko 1.5, that's what you might be taking. It's some form deductions throughout. Leah isn't doing a 1.5, she's doing a full that starts from a 9.95, but it's so clean, it's worth it. And usually she gets the landing like we just saw.
She competed in every meet last year for the Razorbacks on vault, scored 9.9 or better 5 times. Addison Feda had a 9.825 in that first rotation. Lily Peterson, a 9.925 to start off the Sooners here in the second rotation.
Great lead off from Lily right there, and another huge routine for OU is Addison. She hasn't been connecting that release move. She's been too close, kind of held back. I really liked seeing her get that swing into the pack salto right after that. Super clean.
Oh, yes.
And another stuck landing for OU. They are getting these sticks. They're becoming contagious.
KJ Kindler said she's really been working on getting her nerves calm enough to go for the handstands.
And I think she's finally found it. You saw her nail that handstand, and then look at this. Right down to her low bar release move. Super impressive.
Oh, nice form.
And just drills that landing.
So hard to keep good form on that double layout. What a superb job by the young freshman from Pennsylvania. Jaleel Lang now after 9.85 for Leah Smith.
Another big Yurchenko full here.
Oh,
just a step back. I loved her form throughout, but especially on those Yurchenko fulls, you really want to find the landing since you're not starting from that 10.0. You want to give yourself the full amount of tenths that you can get.
tomorrow we've got 13 hours of college hoops over on ESPN. It all gets started at 10 a.m. Eastern with the College Game Day Crew. And highlighted by Cooper Flagg and the number 2 Duke hosting North Carolina at 6:30, followed by John Calipari, his return to Rupp Arena as Arkansas takes on number 12 Kentucky. Faith Torres now on bars for the Sooner after the second straight 9.925. That one for Addison Feda.
They're putting up huge scores. This is a big improvement even on their competition against Alabama. Really nice to see.
So high on that release connection.
Faith is such an aggressive gymnast. That's what I really like about her. She goes for her skills full out.
Oh, and another landing. Oh, my goodness.
It's a stick back.
3 stuck landings for the Sooners in a row.
Huge pack salto right here. I like the amplitude. You see her get off of the bar. Really nice height there.
Already on a roll with 2 9.925s, and theoretically their best 4 athletes, or 3 more to come as we go to Dakota Essen-Price for Arkansas.
Now this is their first 10-0 vault. Slightly short. Had to take that little step back, didn't really get the full block off of the table.
Jaleel Lang before her had a 9.8. So their high score so far was that stuck Yurchenko full from Leah Smith.
You'll see she just came out a little bit too early, didn't get that full block and had to take that step back. Again, that starts from a 10.0, gives her a little bit of an advantage.
It's a great opportunity for young freshman Kelsey Slade now. This is her first opportunity to get in the lineup, and the Sooners thought tonight would be the night to give her a shot.
This would definitely be the night. The scores for OU are so good in this bar rotation. They're nailing these routines. It's nice to see a freshman finally get their feet wet for the first time. And Kelsey's doing a great job here, really focusing on getting those handstands all the way up. And that's what...
How about that? 4 stuck landings in a row.
And KJ told us that. She said that Kelsey can stick her dismount over and over and over again. So I expected nothing less. It's nice to see her, though, nail that for the first time in competition.
Good for her. The freshman out of Vail, Arizona, did her club training at Arizona Dynamics. I mentioned earlier, 40% of the scores for the Oklahoma Sooner come from this exciting freshman class. And speaking of exciting freshmen, here is Jocelyn Robertson for Arkansas, the Olympic alternate.
She has a big vault here. Fought to hold onto that landing, had a little shuffle to the front. You could see her digging her toes into the ground. That's an incredibly difficult vault. She twists onto the table, and then she twists off of the table. Most athletes only twist off. She takes that added challenge of twisting right off of the board.
Dakota Essen-Price before her had a 9.825. Jocelyn Robertson, we mentioned earlier, had been dealing with the flu this week. We weren't sure how many events we were going to see her in, but Audrey Davis will be next up after Kelsey Slade's score comes in as a 9.825. She's a co-champion last year at the NCAA championships, and she has the capability of scoring a perfect 10 here.
Audrey has a beautiful bar routine.
Oh, stunning.
Stunning. Her form is immaculate. There's not a second that her legs aren't completely glued together. And ends with this difficult double front with a half twist.
Another stuck landing.
Another stick for OU. They are crushing it with these dismounts. Now, Audrey's challenge is sometimes she doesn't get her feet all the way around on her dismount. So would you give her credit for getting her feet all the way around, Bart?
Let's take
on
a
that
look
one?
right here. You be the judge. I'd say yes. What do you think?
I say maybe. I say maybe.
All right, 10 times she's gotten 9.975s. Excuse me, 11 times. And last year she finally got her first perfect 10 of her illustrious career. Back to the vault now. Frankie Price.
Another Yurchenko full. Very dynamic, super big. A change in the lineup last minute. Luckily, Frankie's a veteran. She's experienced. She's ready to step up and deliver in that role. I saw Haley Klein was originally supposed to be in. She struggled in the touch. They replaced her with Frankie. That was a good choice.
You hear some boos in the arena. They're not booing Frankie Price. They're booing the score for Audrey Davis for the Sooners over on the bars.
I think the crowd agreed that her feet were all the way around.
9.95, meaning 2 judges contribute to the score here. The average between the two was a 9.95. Jordan Bowers, anchor spot. The Sooners have been lights out here so far. Already 4 scores of 9.9 or better.
Well, this could be another 10 watch. Jordan's definitely capable of that on this event. Beautiful handstand right there. And nice pack salto. Ooh, I like that pirouette. She landed right on top of the bar. Sometimes gymnasts rush through it. I like that she took a second and held it.
What a rotation for the Oklahoma Sooners in front of an energetic crowd here at Lloyd Noble Center.
Incredible work from OU on bars. You could tell she tried to dig those heels in like the smallest shuffle back with that left heel, but wow, the rest of the routine was so clean.
Oklahoma in the top 3 in all events in women's gymnastics, currently ranked #1 on the bars, and you can see why. Now coming up, Arkansas head coach Jordan Weber says she's having just too much fun for this to be a job. We'll talk to her when we return.
You know, when I'm in the gym and I'm working with my athletes or I'm at a meet and we're competing, it truly doesn't feel like work.
We like to have a lot of fun. I think that incorporates into our gymnastics.
Varun as my head coach is awesome. She's perfect. I love having her around. She's fun. She's goofy at times, which I love when she brings that side of her out.
Oh my gosh, it is incredible. They bring just so much confidence and so much knowledge to the sport while also bringing this level of fun that we get to have in the gym. It's kind of our team culture, is just to go out there and have a blast, and they really embody that as coaches every single day in the gym.
I can't believe I'm at work right now. Like, this is my office. Like, what a cool job that I get. And the best part about it for me is being able to impact the lives of our student athletes.
She betters us as people, not just as gymnasts. She really wants us to be able to go out in the world as strong, independent women, and wants us to go out there and run the world, really.
You know, sometimes I'm in the office, that feels a little more like work and all the office stuff, but when I'm in the gym and I'm just getting to coach and I'm getting those kind of life coaching moments, that doesn't feel like work. That feels like what I'm called to do and what I'm meant to do with my life.
Jordan Weber herself, a former world and Olympic gold medalist. She's in her 6th season at Arkansas, and last year was by far her best season ever. Set 7 of the top program team scores, building a huge audience there. 35,000 people saw their team compete last year. They finished 7th at the NCAA championship, and they went over 198, which is a 9.9 average per athlete. So Jordan Weber now trailing, though, the #1 Oklahoma Sooners, who had a 49.675 in that second rotation on the bars. Second highest score in the nation to them, because the high score is Oklahoma's 49.7. Oklahoma moves to one of their signature events. That's the beam. Faith Torres already has 2 9.95s today. She's hot. And on the floor for Arkansas, you're not going to want to miss Frankie Price when we return.
All right, let's bring energy today. Gym backs. What do we want?
Oh, what a moment for the husband and wife coaching team of Jordan Weber and her husband Chris Brooks. 6 years they have been coaching there, and they have been married since 2023. And how nice, they announced that they're having a baby this June. Good timing, right after the season's over. And it'll be a girl. All right, the Sooners are well known for their work on beam. It's usually the make or break event in women's gymnastics. Audrey Davis, one of their best all-arounders, loves this leadoff spot, and she gets the honor for the Sooners here in the 3rd of 4 rotations. They have a lead of over a point over the visiting Arkansas Razorbacks.
They excel on the beam. I mean, they start with Audrey Davis, the beam national champion from 2024, and then they end with Faith Torres, the beam national champion from 2024. So they have such a strong lineup on this event. Leading with their acro series here. Nice job.
Talk about how these teams are so proficient. Arkansas is 3rd in the NCAA right now in the current rankings on floor. Oklahoma #2 on beam.
Something that separates Oklahoma's beam from other NCAA teams across the country is their choreography and their dance. KJ really puts emphasis on getting up on the beam and staying on the beam. A lot of these routines, you don't even see them do their first skill for the first 10 to 15 seconds, just doing choreo to feel comfortable up there. Just the dismount left.
Oh, Oh.
She tried to get that stick. You could see her. She kind of rocked to her heels. You've got to keep your toes dug into the ground if you want to hold it down.
Talk about all the great Oklahoma Sooners. How about this? Maggie Nichols is here. The former OU gymnast, two-time NCAA all-around champion. She's in the house tonight to cheer. Look at those rings on those. You did pretty well at Florida, but do you have that many rings?
I didn't do that well. I did not do that.
Oh, that's great. Okay, Calissa Gamiao now leading off the Razorbacks on floor in this third of 4 rotation. This was a lights-out performance for a team last week. That's how they secured their victory against LSU. They'll need to be good here today as well.
Nice work from Callista right there on that double pike. Huge amplitude in the air. She does such a great job of starting floor and beam for this program. She's so confident and comfortable in this role and really nails leading off that energy for her team. A difficult 1.5 through to double twist. Oh. A little too much gas. You saw that foot was out of bounds. That's going to be a 10th in deduction.
Saw the judge raise her hand, indicating to the other judge on the other side of the floor that she did actually cross over the line. So 1/10 of a point for that.
I like Callista because she takes the added challenge of doing 3 passes in her routine. You'll see some athletes do 2-pass routines with extra leaps. She does 3 passes, has great endurance and strength, and shows it off. A little under-rotated. Great save, though. Really held on to that landing. You can see her feet landed a little too far behind her. Nice effort there to hold it onto it.
The senior from Honolulu, Hawaii. Gamiao gives the team that little spark in that leadoff spot that they need, according to Coach Weber. Help people affected by the California wildfires in 2025. Donate at redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond and help people recover in Southern California. First up for the Sooners was Audrey Davis. She had a 9.825. Here is Kira Wells.
I want you to check out Kira's first skill in her routine. She does a very difficult side aerial, which is a cartwheel with no hands, but then she switches legs in the middle of it. So it would be like you doing a cartwheel with your left foot and then landing on your left foot.
Oh, that's amazing.
So challenging. Kira is incredibly consistent on her skills. They've been working on her dance, really making it bigger. Nice job. Another difficult switch leap, switch leap. Hard to connect the next one because you're going off of 1 foot. This is where head coach KJ Kindler has really put a focus on her trying to get this dismount stick. If she can get it, she said she's capable of the 10 like we talked about earlier. Just the smallest shuffle forward, but that was a great improvement on her performance last week. It was a lot smaller of a hop coming out of that 1.5 dismount. Nice effort from Kira. So challenging. You have to be so high in the air to be able to split your legs in the middle. I could never. Tried to spot that dismount, just the smallest shuffle forward. Really good work there from Kira. You can tell she's putting in the effort in the gym to try and get those landings.
Now sophomore Haley Klein from Lake Forest, Illinois. She's powerful on this event. She has a new combination pass this year. Some of the rules are a little bit different this year in terms of requirements, and some of the athletes have adjusted their routines.
Huge front through to double here. Nice job for Haley. Right back to the lunge. The judges are focused on the difficulty. How hard are the level of the passes they're doing? The presentation. Are they performing the dance to the music? And of course, the landings. How well are they sticking coming out of those high-flying passes?
She competed in all 15 meets last year on floor. Contributes mostly on vault and floor for this team.
Haley's doing a great job here. It is difficult to switch your passes in the middle of your career. You train certain skills for so long, for 10 years, to have your coach be like, hey, you got to do something else. It is an added challenge, and Haley's doing a great job of taking it on. Nice work on that front layout, front full, straight to the landing. Very clean coming out of it.
Remember, Oklahoma had a lead of a little more than a point coming into this rotation. All of these landings are going to matter for Arkansas to keep this one close. The Sooners have two 9.85s in their two leadoff competitors, Audrey Davis and Kira Wells. Addison Fada, the freshman out of Pennsylvania, coached by her parents, Tony and Jen, here on the beam in the third spot. One thing Coach Kindler likes about her style is she's consistent and she's quite aggressive on beam, and that's kind of a signature for the Oklahoma team.
Yeah, especially Addison. She really hits her landings and her poses. It makes her feel more confident. The sharper she is, it feels like it's easier for her to really nail those landings, and you'll see it in this routine. Slightly off on that series. Great job putting the effort in to stay on the beam. You could tell out of that handspring, her foot was a little bit crooked. Great job getting it back. Sometimes when you're shaky on the beginning skill, you've got to kind of recalibrate, get your nerves under to feel calm for the rest of the routine. And she's doing a great job recovering. Just the dismount left. Now she's changed this. She can also do a round off double twist. She's been doing a gainer full though off the side. It's much easier to stick, and you saw it right there. Totally worth it.
Next Friday, we got another Friday Night Heights doubleheader for you over on the SEC network. At 7 Eastern, number 2 Florida takes on number 13 Arkansas. Then at 8:30, number 7 Kentucky will be here in Norman to square off with number 1 Oklahoma. Maddie Jones coming after Haley Klein scored their 9.775. So the scores so far for Arkansas, not what we saw from them last week. They have a 9.525 and a 9.775. They're going to need 4 hit routines here.
Well, if there's anyone that can pick up these scores for this team, it is Maddie Jones. She's used to this role. She has a great floor routine. Starts with the front double twist right here. Beautiful. Nice job. That's another blind landing. She's got to feel it in the air. It's hard on those twisting elements. I like that her legs are side by side. Sometimes you'll see them cross in the middle of it just because the twist is so fast. She puts great emphasis on keeping her legs just side by side. Beautiful work there, straight into her choreography. Putting an effort to really hold on to those landings. They know that these tenths matter, especially a veteran like Maddie. Again, showing off her endurance. She has another 3-pass routine, which we love to see. We love when they take that added challenge of adding in that 3rd pass. Great effort on that 1.5 twist, straight back to the lunge. Good work for Maddie.
Nice job for the senior from Charlotte, North Carolina. Last year, in just her 3 events, was the highest contributor of points towards the team totals throughout the whole season. And a lot of it has to do with her execution.
It does. Head coach Jordan Weaver said she's constantly striving for perfection, which you see right there. Her legs are always glued together, and that happens in practice.
This is a rarity. We're coming up to the 4th athlete for the Oklahoma Sooners on balance beam of all things, and we haven't seen a 9.9 from them yet. Addison Fada had a 9.775. These last 3 beam competitors are lights out.
You're going to see Jordan Bowers absolutely attack this beam routine. Her choreography is intense. Her skills are intense.
So far today, she has a 9.9 and a 9.925 in her other 2 efforts.
Prepping for this acro series here, a requirement for all gymnasts on the balance beam. 2 flight elements in a row, 1 without hands.
Nice.
Excellent job from Jordan there.
Talked about how many 10s she scored in her career, 9 in total. She has 10s on all the events except for beam to complete what is known as a gym slam.
And she's completely capable of a 10.0 on this event as well.
A lot of times the scores build up to a 10-0 from the previous performances. The scores have not been typical for the Sooners so far.
Double twist.
Oh, nice. That was great.
Clean stick for Jordan. Nice routine. Really bounced back, getting the scores back. That should be a good score.
She's fierce as a competitor, isn't she?
She is
And that
fierce.
aggressive style actually works for the beam, doesn't it?
Yeah, on beam especially, you want to be aggressive. The more hesitant you are, that's when the shakes and the wobbles and the falls come. If you're attacking your skills, you're usually right on top of the beam, and Jordan does that excellent.
AJ Kindler proud of that effort. Leah Smith now for Arkansas. 9.85 was their high score. So far, that was Maddie Jones in the routine prior.
Coming off that huge 9.925 last week, head coach Jordan Weaver said every year she has just gotten more and more confident on this event, and you can tell in her dance and her tumbling. Big front layout through to double tuck. Nice effort. It looked like her front layout step out actually was a little bit short. Had to put in a little more power into that round up back handspring double tuck. Really good save there for her.
The senior from Spring, Texas did her club training at World Champion Center, of course, the home of Simone Biles. Coach Weaver told us she's really impressed with her transformation from her freshman year through to her senior year, gaining her confidence.
She's excelled her dance so much, has so much fun out there. Really has made it just bigger and better. This is her best routine yet, though.
Oh, nice.
Nice effort on that double pike. You saw her open up, trying to get that landing, just that small shuffle forward. And you'll see right here, it's so high in the air. She opens for a second and just a little short, had to take that small shuffle to the side. Very well done. You could tell she was fighting to get those landings and those sticks.
Lily Peterson will be next up for the Sooners. Jordan Bowers' score came in as a 9.95. KJ Kindler quite familiar with this young lady. She was coached at club level by KJ's sister, Lori, and Lori's husband, Bart Rostowski, up in Minnesota. So far today, she has a 9.85 on vault and a 9.925 on bars. She's just a fearless freshman, isn't she?
She's incredibly fearless. I asked KJ earlier about Lily's number 5 in the lineup. What is that trust in a freshman to have her 5th all the way in the back there? And she said, I asked her, and she said, I can go wherever. And just having that confidence is exactly what you want in your beam lineup and in your competitors.
You look at the scores on the right side of your screen. The grade out score is the low score for that team in that event. That would be the one they would likely drop. So after Jordan Bowers 9.95, and it looks like Lily Peterson hitting well here, the Sooners back on track.
Putting in great effort, trying to follow Jordan's stuck double twist.
Oh, she tried so hard.
The effort was there. Really nice work, though, from Lily. So confident up on the beam.
Take a look at KJ Kindler watching down the end of the beam. Oh, almost got it. Did you like when the coach stood at the end of the beam? Did that help you concentrate or not?
No. I was like, Jenny, move. You can't be there.
Of course, your coach was Jenny Rowland in Florida when you were there. Jocelyn Robertson, we mentioned earlier, she was an alternate to the U.S. Olympic gold medal winning team at the 2024 Olympics in Paris. Even got to meet a few celebrities while she was there. She's fun, especially on this event.
Huge. Nice effort there. Small lunge, so much height in the air on that double layout.
Mentioned earlier that she was dealing with the flu earlier this week, but it didn't look like it affected her on that tumbling run.
I can't tell at all. And the hardest event to compete when you're sick is definitely floor. The endurance aspect and the tumbling, it's challenging to get out there. Great effort on those leaps. I love the attention to detail that Jocelyn puts on her leaps. She focuses on getting the splits all the way up and also her feet all the way around. It's super important to the judges to see that, to get credit for that. Last pass here.
Wow.
Nice job.
Man, I thought she might go out of bounds, but she planted that double back. Wow.
I like how you could see her toes digging into the ground. You could tell she wanted it so bad. Great effort from Jocelyn there on the floor. Huge height here, and then digs those toes in, holds on to it.
You can see why she was a member of the U.S. gold medal winning team in the 23 Worlds. And she brings such energy and enthusiasm to this team, a very team-oriented young lady. Faith Torres now, talking about somebody who's having a great day. She's had 2 9.95 so far in the all-around, coming after Lily Peterson, 9.75. So right now, it is Peterson's score, the 9.75, that the Sooners hope to replace with whatever Faith Torres can earn here.
Huge acro series here. Side aerial layout, step out, slightly off. That is so difficult. She puts no hands down on the beam on the side aerial or the layout step out.
Talk about how strong this lineup is. She is a co-champion NCAA from last year, along with Audrey Davis. So they start the lineup with a champion and finish the lineup with a champion. Oh, what a lift.
Beautiful. Well done on that dismount. Checking out this acro series again. Just a little bit off in that left shoulder. Good effort to save it. You could see her feet landed on the edge of the beam. That takes a seasoned competitor to really get it back on top and to stay on the beam. Nice work there from Faith.
Frankie Price with her sister Morgan Price Sisters both competing in NCAA gymnastics. Her sister Morgan competes for Fisk University. Frankie is a lot of fun here. She's coming after a 9.75 for Jocelyn Robertson.
Such a joy to watch on floor. This is my favorite routine that she's done so far, and wow! Beautiful double layout right there. Such a fun performer. She's also elevated her performance every single year.
Wow, look at the leaps.
Stunning. I love the effort that Arkansas especially puts on their switch sides and their straddle jumps. They really put an emphasis and an attention to detail to get those splits all the way up.
Frankie's the redshirt junior from Texas. She went to the same club you did, Texas Dreams, in her club days.
Nice save. You could see she was a little short on that first front full. Her feet were in front. Good job driving her heels and getting that front layout over. I love hearing her teammates scream on the side with her. It makes it so much more fun when your team's involved. This was huge. I love her form throughout in that double layout. Sometimes you'll see those legs separate. Hers are glued together. And again, look at the height on those leaps. Putting so much effort to get up in the air. I love it. And you'll see her feet are in front, and then she drives her heels on that front layout, saving it, really holding on to it, and good job from Frankie because they needed those 10s.
They certainly did. The scores have been modest for Arkansas on floor compared to last week's lights out performance. Frankie Price last year in 12 of 15 routines scored 9-9 or better. The high score for that team is Frankie Price again, a 9.875 today here against Oklahoma, who leads by about 1.5 points. They're solidly in the lead as they go to the fourth and final rotation. Arkansas will have to go to the beam, and the Sooners will finish on the floor with the lead. You're watching the SEC on ESPN's ranked Arkansas Razorbacks. I'm Bart Connor alongside Florida All-American Kennedy Baker. Let's take a look at some of the news and notes around the NCAA. All 9 SEC teams are ranked in the top 15. A big victory for Georgia tonight with a huge score on beam to defeat rival Alabama. Big Ten teams will duel in Pauley Pavilion, and that means we'll see Jordan Childs, the two-time Olympian, competing. And as we mentioned earlier, Frankie Price's sister Morgan Price competes at Fisk University. She set an all-around record, breaking her own record at that school. We had 5 SEC Gymnasts of the Week, Kennedy.
A lot of shares this week, Bart. We start with Selena Harris, won her second all-around title against Georgia, number 13. We've got Jordan Bowers, who also won the all-around against Alabama last week. We've got Marissa Neal, who got first against their team on 9.975. And then, of course, Helen Hugh, who also won beam with a 9.975 over number 6 Kentucky. And then, of course, we've got SEC Freshman of the Week, Caitlin Zhang, who has been crushing it for the Auburn team.
She knows it's good.
An electrifying atmosphere in the stands.
This is just gorgeous.
And next Friday, we've got a slate of gymnastics meets for you at 7 Eastern on the SEC Network. It's Florida and Arkansas, followed by Kentucky and number 1 Oklahoma. It'll be right here in the Lloyd Noble Center. Then at 9, over on ESPN2, it's number 3 LSU taking on number 14 Alabama. There's been an inquiry on one of the scores, and so we do not have a finalized team score yet. But the Sooners comfortably in the lead, regardless of what that number will be. And coming up in that fourth and final rotation, on the balance beam for Arkansas, it'll be Calissa Gamiao. And on the floor for the Sooners, fierce Jordan Bowers when we return. Back in the Lloyd Noble Center, Bart Connor along with Kennedy Baker. The Oklahoma Sooners comfortably in the lead as they are the #1 team in the nation. We get ready for the fourth and final rotation. The visiting Arkansas Razorbacks move to the beam. Calissa Gamiao will be their leadoff competitor. And there's an all-around battle going on among the 5 Sooners who are competing in the all-around. And Faith Torres holds the lead. No scores under 9.925 for her as Gamiao mounts the beam. She had only a 9.525 in the last rotation on floor.
Opens with a huge layout, step out, layout, step out. So difficult, gets so much height in the air. You have to be completely straight on the first one to get the second one over the top, on top of the beam, and she nails it every single time.
What's the challenge here for Arkansas in this fourth and final rotation? Oklahoma comfortably in the lead, and they're going to the floor. Arkansas on the treacherous balance beam. What do they need to do to finish off strong here, Kennedy?
Right. They need perfection, Bart. They really have to step up and hit these routines. It's not good enough to just stay on the beam. They need to stick on the beam.
Last week, they had a big victory against #2 LSU at home. One of the biggest victories in program history for the Razorbacks.
Good effort from Calista. Again, though, they need to really dial in and get these landings. Sticks are what's going to help them get back, stay competitive with OU.
Oklahoma is the #1 team in the nation on bars and floor. And as we noted earlier, Faith Torres is the leader in the all-around of the 5 all-arounders, all from Oklahoma. She has a 9.925 and 2 9.95s as Audrey Davis takes to the floor in that leadoff spot, just as she did on the beam. Davis, a 5th-year senior.
Audrey opens with a big front double twist. Goes directly into her choreography afterwards. Really great effort there.
KJ Kindler prides herself on not only interesting and unique choreography, but fun music. It really draws the crowd in.
It really does, especially this year. I love the choreography work that she did this year. Their routines are so unique and stunning. They're different, their music is exciting, and they really put an emphasis on making their dance really, really big. Great job there from Audrey. Nice job starting off this lineup. Really strong routine. They can build off of that for sure.
Sunday, we've got ACC women's basketball as #3 Notre Dame takes on Louisville. Catch all the action at noon Eastern right here on ESPN2. Maddie Jones will be next up for Arkansas on the beam. Gamiao had a 9.75 in that lead-off spot. As we noted earlier, Jordan Weber in her 6th season at Arkansas. Last year was a record-setting season in so many ways.
This is important. They really want a strong away beam score for sure. Great effort from Maddie there. She had a mistake last week, had that connection in the first skill really slow, didn't get credit for it. She'll get credit for it tonight because it was much smoother. Really nice work there.
You mentioned a high away score. The way these teams qualify for postseason is not by their win-loss record, but in fact by what's called the national qualifying score, which is a combination of home and away scores. So even though Arkansas will likely lose this meet to the Sooners today, they still have a chance of getting a solid away score towards their qualifying effort for postseason.
Right, it's just as important that they perform to their best right now because they need this score. It's important, and it helps build their confidence for the rest of the season. Front full blind landing dismount, drills it. This is difficult. You can't see where your feet are coming into the ground. Good effort in bending those knees and holding onto that stick.
There's Kyla Ross, former world and Olympic medalist from the U.S. team, now also one of the coaching staff members at Arkansas. Nearly everybody on their staff has been at the Worlds and the Olympic team.
Yeah.
Not like Jordan Weber, of course. Chris Brooks, her husband, was an Olympian. And Kyla Ross, what a lineup of coaches.
Insane. They have 2/5 of the London team on their coaching staff. What?
Pretty intimidating to apply for a job there. Which Olympics were you in now? Addison Feda, after Audrey Davis, led them off with a strong 9.875.
Another dynamic routine for OU. I love the intensity that Addison brings to this routine. She had a mistake here against Alabama. She kind of went out, I believe.
Oh, she stayed in.
You see where she went out the other day. That was where she struggled. Really good effort to stay in those corners, in bounds.
This is great.
A lot of the Oklahoma routines only have 2 passes, so you'll see them do a couple extra leaps to make up for not doing that 3rd pass in their routines. And Tom puts a huge emphasis on getting their leaps all the way around, really showing to the judges that they're completed in full splits.
You mentioned Tom. That's Tom Haley, one of their associate head coaches, that helps them with their tumbling and vault.
Right here, she had the mistake last week.
Coach Kindler says she reminds her of Reagan Smith, who was standing behind her. There's Tom Haley, giving her a couple of notes. Reagan Smith was very hungry when she came here as a Oklahoma Sooner. She now part of the graduate assistant coaching staff, but big future for Addison Feda, no question about it. Priscilla Park now on beam. 9-7 was the score for Maddie Jones before her.
Priscilla is an excellent beam worker. Opens with this acro series.
Ooh,
great job keeping it over the top of the beam. You could see that dip in the right shoulder. Actually, sometimes last year she did a triple series. She's changed that this year. Cleaning it up, keeping it a back handspring layout, step out. She's done a great job of consistently stepping up and delivering in this role specifically.
Oh.
Put that effort in to try to get that stick, had that arm swing just a little bit too much momentum.
Tomorrow we've got 13 hours of college hoops over on ESPN. It all gets started at 10 a.m. Eastern with the College Game Day crew, and highlighted by Cooper Flagg and number 2 Duke hosting North Carolina at 6:30. Followed by John Calipari, his return to Rupp Arena as Arkansas takes on number 12 Kentucky. Oh, I think you're going to enjoy this routine. This is Elle Mueller coming after Addison Fada had a 9-8. She's another one of those young freshmen, very expressive here on floor.
I love this routine, Bart. Her choreography is actually a little different than kind of the rest of the OU lineup. It's intense and then it's soft in moments, and she really does a good job of playing it up. Beautiful work there. Front through to double tuck, straight to the lunge. Her performance quality in this routine is amazing. She really draws the crowd in. It's hard to look away. Nice work on that front 1.5 twist. You can see her teammates getting excited on the side. You train these routines all year long, so to finally see it on me day, it makes it even more exciting.
Takes a lot of energy to put that much into the choreography, doesn't it?
It does. It's just as important. The judges like to see that big choreo. They like to see the crowd draw in. They want to see people engaged with the routine. It makes it more exciting to watch. They love that routine. They're hyped about it, and they should be. That was a great effort from Elle.
Coach Kindler says that she reminds her of Maggie Nichols, of course, who was the great champion who came from the same club, the Twin City Twisters in the Minnesota area. Back to the beam now for Callie Swaney. Priscilla Part had their high score of a 9-8 so far.
Callie's been working on consistency in this beam. She struggled a little bit in the beginning of the season, working on really nailing those landings, staying on top of the beam, and feeling confident on top. Opens with a difficult triple series here.
Nice.
Beautifully done. She's practiced that a lot in training, really getting that on top of the beam. She struggled with it. It's nice to see her really nail it tonight. Split jump to a split ring. The judges want to see a little more head release. If it's a ring movement, they really want to see you looking at the ceiling with your foot on top. A little shy there. Great dismount. Got that stick. She's excited about it. Sends the heart to her teammates and claps them up.
The junior from Gastonia, North Carolina. Nice series here.
Yeah, this is difficult. 3 acro elements in a row, one without hands. You have to be super straight on the first 2 if you want to keep the third one on top of the beam, and she did that really well.
Back to the Sooners on floor. Lily Peterson. Her high score today, a 9.925, was on bars. It's coming after Elle Mueller had a 9.85. The Sooners yet to break into the 9.9s on this 4th and final event, the floor.
Lily opens with a difficult 1.5 to 2.5. A lot of twisting skills. Nice job. I like the control out of that. She was a little out of control at Alabama. She really held that one in. I like that one a lot better. And she's just such a fun athlete to watch. I'm enjoying it because you can tell she's enjoying it. Difficult front double twist. Well done, straight into her choreography. I like her legs were extended throughout the entire time. They put a lot of emphasis on their twisting in the gym. Most of their lineup is twisting. They're making sure their legs aren't crossed in the air. They want them side by side.
How fun. The freshman from White Bear Lake, Minnesota. Lily Peterson, she's 4'10", but she'll tell you she's 4'11".
Let's go with 4'11".
KJ Kindler said she's known her since she was single-digit age because, of course, she was a gymnast at Minnesota, where KJ comes from herself, and always kept an eye on that young lady as she came up through the ranks. Cammie Weaver coming after Callie Swaney at a 9.775. So Priscilla Park is the high score for Arkansas on the beam, 9.8.
Nice job there from Cammie. Another athlete in their lineup that was kind of struggling at first on beam. It's nice to see her really get that groove back, feeling confident again on top of the beam and nailing these routines.
She appeared in all 15 meets on beam last year. She's kind of known in the team as being everyone's hype woman. Brings a lot of energy to this team.
I saw her in the warm-up, and she was definitely helping encourage her teammates, dancing along with them, having a good time, making them feel loose. Good stick. You'll see that was a little bit off to the side. The judges can't tell as well as us from our angle. Good save, though, to dig those legs into the ground and get the stick. You'll see in this round-off, she was a little crooked. Went over to that right side a little bit. Good fight, though, to get the stick.
Seems like one of the signature elements for the Oklahoma Sooners on floor is a variety of routines. Let's sit back and watch this one. This is Jordan Bowers. This is a different mood altogether.
I love this routine. This is one of my favorite routines this year, and one of the best I think that KJ has ever done.
Music is Moonlight Sonata.
You're gonna see Jordan open with a front double twist through to front tuck. One of the best passes in NCAA.
Beautiful.
Big double pike here. Nails it.
The senior out of Lincoln, Nebraska. 4 career perfect 10s on floor, 3 consecutive 10s last year.
This routine is so good, Bart. I mean, the tumbling, the dance, the form throughout. One of her best double pikes I've ever seen her do, so high in the air. And of course, to end with the bow, so appropriate. No other way she could have ended this year.
She kept that front foot planted on that last landing to give away the minimal deductions, if any at all. Anchor competitor for Arkansas on the beam, Jocelyn Robertson, after Cammie Weaver had their high score over there, 9.825.
Jocelyn is so confident up on the beam. She won beam at Olympic trials, and she just attacks it. Kind of like we were talking about with Faith Torres and Jordan Bowers. You're just going to see her nail those skills.
While Robertson's on the beam, the score comes in for Jordan Bowers. It's a 9.95, securing the victory for Oklahoma.
Big acro series here. Side aerial layout, step out.
Oh, that's tough.
So tough and so well done.
She, of course, was a former elite gymnast, competed on the national team. So she's used to doing really high level of difficulty in her routines, which is required at that elite level.
She is, and she still trains both skills. She's still on the national team. Great job on that front full. That's a blind landing. She's stuck it so many times already this season. Really nice work. Great form throughout and held on to the finish.
Be exciting to watch this young lady's career, not only as she proceeds through her collegiate career, but her continued career with the U.S. national team in gymnastics. Jordan Bowers had a 9.95, the high score for the Sooners on floor. And here is Faith Torres. Look at the day she's having.
Faith is having a great day. Faith is just so consistent. She does the same gymnastics over and over again incredibly well. Opens with this big double layout. And she does it like that almost every single time.
This is almost an inner squad of all-around competition among the Oklahoma athletes, with 5 of them doing the all-around. A 9.925 for Faith Torres will allow her to win the all-around title. Although the team title is obviously the focus of these events, it just exemplifies the depth of the Oklahoma team in terms of quality all-around competitors.
Last pass here, front through to double tuck. Another nice landing.
You know, some athletes just have that pop in their legs to get off the floor. She is exceptional in terms of her explosive power.
She is. Not everyone can tumble like Faith. You know when she gets out there, she's going to be so high up in the air.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be your all-around champion today. KJ Kindler knows it. The Sooners didn't stick a whole lot of landings today, but they had such a substantial lead over the visiting Razorbacks. But I know the fans and the team would love seeing a big score here.
This is going to be a pretty big score. Jordan Bowers sat her up really nicely with a 9.95. I don't know what the judges are going to do with that. It's pretty clean routine. I'm not seeing a lot on her leaps or tumbling.
We've only seen 110 so far in the NCAA competition this year. It's been kind of controversial because there's been two 10s in the league this year, but it's interesting that there's a new judging oversight committee, and some people are complaining that perhaps they're reluctant to throw the perfect 10 as a result of having peer oversight.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that they're trying to really show that the scores aren't so even, trying to differentiate the good and the great routines, and I think it's fair.
I think it's a good point as well. That's the goal, obviously, is to differentiate between the good and the great routines, but we're seeing in general, slightly lower scores than we saw last year. So the score for Faith Torres on the floor is a 9-9. So she will tie with Jordan Bowers as the all-around winners today. And of course, Oklahoma, by a huge margin, gets the win here at the Lloyd Noble Center as KJ Kindler gives her team a few final notes. An easy victory for the #1 team in the nation at home, the Oklahoma Sooners, with a solid 197-825 get the victory over Arkansas, scoring only 195-975 tonight. It was on the bars where Oklahoma killed it, Kennedy Baker.
Yeah, they stepped up. They have their highest bar score this year. So good. Second highest in NCAA this season, only to themselves. And wow, they nailed just dismount after dismount. Huge releases, beautiful form throughout. They deserve to get the win.
And so Oklahoma defeats Arkansas by nearly 2 points, a huge margin of victory in collegiate gymnastics. Faith Torres and Jordan Bowers tie for the all-around with a solid 39-725. We got a chance to see Jocelyn Robertson with a 9-9-25 for the Olympic alternate on the beam tonight for Arkansas. That was a highlight. And Oklahoma, their third straight win by over a point by competitors this year. There is Jocelyn Robertson. We'll be watching her career as she makes her way through college and elite gymnastics, and she is a real treat to watch. Well, it was a great night here in Norman, Oklahoma. We're glad you all joined us here at the Lloyd Noble Center. The Oklahoma Sooners go to 9-0. They are undefeated and will stay #1 in the country. So join us next Friday for more gymnastics here on ESPN2 at 9 Eastern as #3 LSU takes on #14 Alabama. For Kennedy Baker and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Bart Conner. So long from Norman.